You remembered me?
The hiking thing kind of sticks. Not a lot of people lead with that.
I guess I do say it a lot. I'm Maya, I'm 29, and I'm a product manager at a mid-sized B2B software company. I've been in this city for 3 years, moved from a smaller place in Ohio, and I live alone in an apartment I've arranged to look like someone who has their life together, lives there. I have a consistent routine. I use the word intentional to describe it when people ask. The event was a rooftop thing, the kind with a free drink ticket and a Spotify playlist pitched about 10 decibels too loud for actual conversation. The organizer handed me my name tag at the entrance, and I noticed the way you notice a thing and then immediately set it down somewhere in your mind, that it wasn't a blank one. It was laminated, pre-printed with my name already on it, and a little field at the bottom that said, "One thing about me." And in that field, in handwriting that I recognized as mine, but in a pen I don't own anymore, someone had already filled it in, and it said, "Big into hiking." She recognized me as a regular. She'd kept the tag. I stuck it to my chest and got a drink. Ohio, product manager, and yeah, really into hiking when I actually get the chance.
Which trails are you usually on?
Depends on the season, honestly. It varies.
Sure, yeah. I've been meaning to get out more myself.
It's one of those things, right? You have to actually put it on the calendar. When the introduction started and it got to me, I heard myself say, originally from Ohio, product manager at a SaaS company, really into hiking when I get the chance. I smiled at the right beat. Someone nodded with that particular nod that means they're filing the information and already thinking about what they're going to say. I don't know exactly when I stopped hiking. It was sometime after a trip to a trail outside the city in 2021, which I remember mostly because it rained for the last 2 miles, and I had to change in a gas station bathroom. After that, I kept meaning to go again, and then the meaning to became so familiar that I stopped distinguishing it from actual planning, and then it just became part of the story I told. The phrase carries its own alibi, when I get the chance. So it never quite becomes a lie, technically.
I thought that was you.
You remembered me?
The hiking thing kind of sticks. Not a lot of people lead with that.
I guess I do say it a lot.
I just figured it meant you actually loved it.
Yeah, no, I do. Daniel caught me about an hour into the event, near the edge of the rooftop where the music was slightly less aggressive. I placed him after a second. Same circuit, different events. One of those people you see often enough to recognize, but never often enough to have a full conversation with. He said something about the turnout. I said something back, and then he said it. He remembered me from an event a couple years ago, he said, and he remembered I was into hiking, which must mean I really loved it. He said it the way you say something when you're trying to make someone feel consistent and known, like a small compliment, like continuity is a thing you can hand someone.
You ever do anything overnight, like multi-day stuff?
I've been wanting to. Weekends kind of disappear, though.
Same. There's never enough hours.
Exactly. It's just the time goes somewhere and you're not sure where.
Well, next time you find a good one, let me know.
I laughed and said yes. I said something about how there are never enough weekend hours, which is a sentence designed to sound like a person with too many options, rather than a person with no particular pull toward any of them. He nodded. We talked about something else for a few minutes, and then the group shifted, and I moved with it the way you do. On the train home, I opened the Photos app. I don't know why, maybe I was looking for something else, or maybe I wasn't looking for anything. I started scrolling backward through the grid. My couch in several variations of afternoon light, takeout containers from a stretch in February, a birthday dinner for a friend I haven't texted since March, a screenshot of a recipe I never made. I should probably actually go back to that trail.
Which one was it?
The one outside the city, there's a couple options out there.
I think I know the area. It's nice in fall, supposedly.
Yeah, I keep meaning to go back. No trails, no woods, no gear laid out on a bed the night before, the way people photograph it. Nothing that looked like someone who is really into hiking, not in the last 8 months, not in any square I scrolled through. I kept going for longer than made sense. The way you recheck a thing you've already checked because you haven't finished being surprised yet. And the train went past my stop, and I noticed 2 stops later when the doors opened somewhere unfamiliar, and I had to look up. I walked back. It wasn't far. Daniel's comment kept doing something in the back of my head. Not loudly, not urgently, just the low-level recurrence of a thing that could mean nothing, or could mean that a version of me has been in circulation longer than the actual version has been true. 3 weeks later, there was another event, same format, and I filled in the blank name tag field myself and wrote "big into hiking" because I'd written it before and my hand just did it. When it got to me, I said it the way I always said it. Ohio, product manager, hiking when I get the chance. And a woman across the table, maybe a year or two younger than me, lit up in a way I wasn't prepared for, because usually people nod and move on. But she said she hiked too. She said she was obsessed. She asked which trails. I named the one from 2021, the one with the rain, the gas station bathroom, gave it with the kind of specificity that signals authenticity, and she made a sound like recognition and pulled out her phone, and she had a photo from that same trail, recent, bright day, a slightly triumphant expression that people have when they've just descended something, and she angled the screen toward me across the table. We exchanged numbers. Her name is Lauren, or maybe it was Clara. I have her saved as a first name and a location tag in my contacts, sitting between two other names saved the same way from events earlier in the year. I haven't opened it since I saved it, but it's there, and there are 7 others like it. At the end of the rooftop event, the one with Daniel, I'd peeled the laminated name tag off my jacket, and instead of dropping it in the trash by the door, I'd stuck it to the inside of my pocket. It's probably still in that jacket. I haven't checked.